Hello, fellow members. Welcome to this week's edition of Simulation Saturday. I'm Bruce Newton, and this week's matchup is the Seattle Seahawks against the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams, the Seattle Seahawks are 7-2, and the San Francisco 49ers are undefeated. Now, this is actually going to be, this is actually the best matchup this week, despite it being a Monday Night Football game. I looked at the schedule, and I did not see any games that were fantastic Sunday. The Vikings are 6-3, whereas the Cowboys are 5-3. But I'm trying to, it's week 10, and we kind of want to break, at this point, we want to break away from the Sunday night games because at this point, we are getting some really, really great matchups that happen to not be on Sunday night. The rest of the week, the rest of Sunday isn't really all that special. We have some divisional matchups with the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears, Baltimore at Cincinnati, Buffalo at Cleveland. That's not really a divisional matchup, but it's Baltimore and Cleveland. Buffalo and Cleveland. I'm sorry. Falcons at Saints, Giants and Jets, Cardinals and Tampa Bay. The Chiefs and the Titans, Miami and the Colts, Carolina at Green Bay, the Rams at the Steelers, and then of course we had the Chargers at Raiders this past Thursday. So that schedule is kind of meh. Like I said, the only good game is the Monday night game. So here we are, and as you can see, we have a great matchup. Richard Sherman is going up against his former team. I think that this is his second year on the team. I can't really remember if it's his first. He's going up against the Seattle at home, so that's going to be good. But let's get this show on the road. Forgive me, I do have a little bit of a cold, so. Alright. Every time, you can never start an 8:20 game. It's always 8:15. I don't know why. Let's have it a nice, clear night. And let's go.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they match up with Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, we've got two NFC West teams here. Your assessment of the state of the division coming into 2019, is it the Rams to lose?
We saw the changing of the guard with the Rams taking over from Seattle a couple of seasons ago. But Seattle got back in the game pretty fast, didn't they? You remember preseason last year? It was doom and gloom. Ended up in the playoffs. Arizona, they're kind of hitting the reset button. It's San Francisco to keep your eye on. With good health, good drafts, they could be the team that can really contend.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson coming out here, still tracking as an MVP candidate as he brings the Seahawks at 7-2 onto the field, coming off their Week 9 overtime victory against Tampa Bay. And now the touchdown-interception ratio for Russell Wilson this year, Charles, 22-1, because what did he have, 5 touchdown passes in that game?
Including the game winner in overtime. And how about his, he continues to make a case for MVP. 3rd in the league in passing yardage. About 100 yards short of the leader, Phillip Rivers. You mentioned that touchdown-to-interception ratio, 22-1. That's ridiculous. And to come back against Tampa, his 31st, the most in the NFL since 2012. I was sitting with some friends while this game was going on, and Tampa was up a couple of touchdowns. Everyone said, yeah, Russell's going to get involved, and Russell's going to find a way to win it. And he did.
Did you make your buffalo chicken dip with your friends?
Did not make the buffalo chicken dip. In fact, I had a little deep dish pizza served.
Oh. All right. Sure.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Starting lineup here for the 49ers defensively. And, you know, we had J.J. Watt go down with a pec injury in Houston. And now for this 49er defense, Quan Alexander, pec injury, and he's done for the year.
Oh, and that's so sad for them because, remember, they acquired Quan Alexander to help solidify the interior of their defense to pair him with now the 2nd-year linebacker Fred Warner out of BYU. And what a combo they were. When you think about some of the great 49er defenses, you think about inside linebackers, specifically Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman. These guys were going to be that version in 2019.
And Quan Alexander torn pec against the Cardinals in Week 9, done for the year.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a give, right side. Carson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson completes it to Dixon. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Open man is Gordon, complete. And
I'll give him that.
And touchdown, Seattle. Josh Gordon, 38 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
All right. My turn
Jason
now.
Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jimmy Garoppolo leading out the undefeated San Francisco 49ers. And for Garoppolo, you know, 2-year anniversary of the trade that brought him from New England to San Francisco happened on Halloween. That was back in 2017. And a nice little anniversary gift in 2019. Arguably his best game yet. 317 yards against the Arizona Cardinals and a career-high 4 touchdowns, Charles.
And what was beautiful about that, besides the fact he went to 16-2 as an NFL starting quarterback, here's the thing. The one question people kept asking, can San Francisco win if the game is totally in Jimmy Garoppolo's hands? And I think he answered that question against Arizona on Thursday night. Running game wasn't its normal self, right? Defense played well, but not as well as they've been playing. They needed every one of those touchdown passes and every one of those big throws from him. He has to feel much more confident moving forward, as does San Francisco in him.
By the way, list of 49er quarterbacks with 300 or more yards passing, 4+ touchdowns and no INTs in a regular season game. Steve Young did it 3 times, Jeff Garcia twice, Elvis Grbac, and then you had Joe Montana do it once, and now Jimmy Garoppolo.
That tells you just how difficult it is to do if Joe Montana only did it once.
Here we go.
All right.
On first down, here's Breida.
Get out. Why is my player running into like the...
Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Oh my God.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Matt Breida, 51 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And we are tied at 7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone.
All right.
No run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Seattle Seahawks 7-2 through 9 weeks of the season. Their offense coming back out here. You know, Charles, this Seattle team looks really good. We talked about Russell Wilson, how good he's been. Where's the weak spot for the Seahawks crew?
Believe it or not, consistent pass rush. And the reason I say believe it or not, when you think of the players who are along that defensive front, it's a surprise because they've gotten Jaron Reed back. He missed the first 6 games of the season. Remember, he was double-digit sacks in 2018 at defensive tackle. They've added Jadeveon Clowney, defensive end, consistently presses for 10 sacks or more in a season. Ziggy Ansah, who when healthy is a double-digit sack guy. I think as the season moves on, it would not surprise me at all that pass rush gets ramped up a little bit, and then Seattle will be really difficult to deal with.
Week 10, how about this battle playing against the undefeated 49ers? That's going to be a fun one.
That's
Playing
going
them
to be
right
an
now.
absolute blast, and that's a good time for their pass rush to emerge against Jimmy Garoppolo. But first of all, they better stop the run.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. These two teams all tied after one. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Throwing is Wilson. And that'll be incomplete.
That was nowhere. It was near catchable.
Flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On second down, it's Carson. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Got Gordon open, completes it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
I'm injured.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. How about the two Bosa brothers, by the way? Both defensive players of the week in Week 8 for their respective conferences. Joey had 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss in a win over the Bears. Nick had 3 sacks and a pick in a win over Carolina.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Now it's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. A big play, but still
I did what I could.
Leads to a 4th and goal.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
Full on.
A good drive gets them inside
3
the
points.
5, but they
I'm fine
could
about
not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
I'm going to run it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. 49ers coming back out here on offense. We mentioned their 8-0 start to the season. They actually broke an 8-game losing streak to the Cardinals when they defeated them.
8-game losing streak?
Yeah, they had lost the Cardinals 8 straight times.
That's 4 seasons worth.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then a 28-25 victory this past week snapped that. But it was also the first game this year that the Niners have actually thrown it more times than they ran the football, CD.
And that is something that I think people are starting to come to grips with about San Francisco, because you think about their head coach, Kyle Shanahan, and his reputation as an offensive wizard. And whenever we hear that, what's the first thing we think? Throwing the football. He's always been a run-based guy, and he wants that running game finely tuned, because it travels late in the season and it travels through the playoffs. And that's what leads San Francisco. They had to go the other way against Arizona in order to secure the win.
Well, if the Niners have it their way, the only travel they'll be doing in the playoffs will be to Miami, because as it stands right now at 8-0, they would play at home until that point.
And why Miami?
Super Bowl.
There you go.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down. Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Garoppolo finding his tight end, Kittle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again, as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 24-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. fans, a reminder. I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Will I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3.
Okay.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the 49ers defense gets ready here as they trot back out there. And as we're going to see right here, they have been laying some pretty electrifying hits in this one.
And these are for real. Okay, as you watch, think about putting yourself in that spot, about being the ball carrier or the receiver.
I don't want to.
And then taking that shot, it is something else. It's not like when we were watching that video clip where they showed you how they make sounds for movies. This is for real.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. CD, we're already firmly in the month of November, so I want to go ahead and take a look at the AFC playoff picture. Right now, division leaders, New England, Baltimore, Houston, and KC. If it ended today, the wild cards would go to Buffalo and Indianapolis. So you think those are going to be the 6? Probably some shuffling along the way.
There will be some shuffling along the way, maybe more in seeding than in actual teams, because when you look into who's in the wild card hunt right now, Pittsburgh, Oakland, both 4-4. Tennessee and Jacksonville at 4-5. The way teams are playing, they may just knock off each other. I think all the teams we listed have a heck of a chance of making it to the playoffs.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Here we go. Like 20. Bring it.
On second down and 4. Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Here we go. Check.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
What?
Incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but he's it down. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
It's not saying anything. I mean, okay, he's not saying anything. He doesn't exist. We've killed him.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
I'm glad you
Here's
missed
a pass
that.
on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Deebo Samuel, the rookie wideout, his intended receiver. And it's second down.
Well, hey, we talked about the AFC playoff picture. Let's look at the NFC. That's a different story. You've got Dallas and Philly neck and neck in the East. Then Green Bay, New Orleans, and San Francisco as division leaders. But with only 2 more wild card spots, going to be some good teams left out in the cold in January.
Yeah, because right now you got Seattle at 7-2, Minnesota 6-3. They would be in as of right now. But the Rams 5-3, Carolina, and whoever doesn't win the East out of either Dallas or Philadelphia, this is going to be a heck of a battle, isn't it? People are going to have an effect on this conference with every game that's played, maybe even teams that aren't in the conference. Because if you lose to someone, anyone, it could knock you out of the race.
On first down, Garoppolo. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now it's Breida. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Garoppolo now. And this one
He still had the ball.
incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
To throw, it's Garoppolo.
Are you serious?
This is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Stepping aside from this game for a second, how about us being in Week 10 of the NFL season right now? That makes me want to resurface that MVP talk we had earlier in the year. Who do you have right now leading in the MVP race?
Is this quarterbacks edition only, or can we actually bring other people into it?
Yeah, go wherever.
Because the league does tell you that MVP can be anyone, but numbers show us it's really got to be a quarterback. So let's just start there, right? Russell Wilson in Seattle. I think he has to be a prime guy. I think you have to look at Tom Brady, all right? It's always Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes, if he can get back into the lineup and be his usual self, he could get into this race again and maybe defend his crown. And Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay has really come on in recent weeks despite a stumble against the Chargers this past week. But how about Lamar Jackson? I mean, what he's doing with Baltimore and their win over New England, you've got to have him as a prime candidate. And you know how much I love Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, he's a special one, isn't he?
Oh, he is absolutely special because he does it all. And if they weren't risking injury, he'd run back kicks too.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson, Chris Carson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. D Ford able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar.
Whatever.
As he drops it in from long distance. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a 1st after a gain of about 9. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Here we go. 80 weapons.
They run again with Breida. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry. 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. And he's taken down inside the 30. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Oh.
He can run for it, and he will. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, Most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run them on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. So quick on the spin.
What?
He's spinning, man.
I don't know what happened.
Takes it all the way,
What the hell was that?
There is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Now Wilson on first down.
What?
Oh, and now some space to operate. And avoids the contact by sliding. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This throw complete, Wilson finding Lockett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their #1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't. They run it with Carson, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. Fred Warner coming off a strong rookie year in on the stop for the Niners. They run again with Carson. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
On third down, Carson.
Oh, my God. Are you serious? Oh, my God.
Our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
Game.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the fourth, but they got to feel good now. The extra point now coming from Myers. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken at the 3.
Why are my own guys right in front of
me? To the 25-yard line. Garoppolo and the Niners now. Down 20-13, 34 seconds to go. They've got to travel the full 75 yards, and time is obviously a huge factor here. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation.
Okay, you're
a crusher there as it's
right
intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. Another costly turnover, their second of this second half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the second half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
It certainly is, and let's face it, they named the game after it, right? So isn't it the most important thing?
But it's football.
Exactly. They named the game for it. Take care of it.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. After the interception, here's Wilson.
Why are you fucking throwing the ball? Just kneel it, you
5
ass.
yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
This game sucks my dick.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Silicon Valley.
Okay, so this game can suck my dick. What are my thoughts on this game? Well, I don't think Seattle's going to come into San Francisco expecting a win. 49ers are going to get the best of them, and they're obviously going to come out on top. I think the offense is going to be too much for Seattle's defense. So obviously, I think they're going to continue their hot streak. I think the 49ers are going to go on and have a perfect season. So that's honestly really all I have to really say. As for a final score, it's going to be 38-24. I'm going with that. 38-20. No, not 24. 38-21. If it's 24, it's 24. I don't care. I hate this game. So that does it for this week's edition of Simulation Saturday. If you like what you saw, please leave a like and share this with your friends. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. This is here on Twitch. If you like what you saw on Twitch, hit that follow button and turn the notifications on so you can get notified whenever we go live. This is going up on YouTube, so if you like what you see over there, hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on so you guys never miss when we upload a brand new video. Thanks again for watching, and as always, we will see you next time. Later, guys.